Seems to be growing well.
You're tied to this place, kid. Your energy.
Please, just... I need to be alone right now.
Ma'am.
You're tied to this place, kid. Your energy.
I hope the color of my energy is blue.
That's good. Humor is a good way to cope. 'Cause this world ain't yours, is it? I saw you leave that icebox. The sight can help you, kid. It always has answers. Just gotta bring me some jet so I can see what it wants to tell you.
Here. Already have some.
Like a little kick yourself, huh? This'll do. Now, let me ride the high to where the sight wants to take me. You're on the trail of the man who took your boy. I see a house, locked up tight. Chains put on by a smiling shark. But there's another way. I can see it. A key. Lost and forgotten. Fallen down below. Search the chairs beneath the house. They hold the secret. Phew. Wow. That took more out of me than usual. I'm gonna need to rest now, kid.
I've got a weapon here for every situation. Hunting, protection, cold-blooded murder, hot-blooded murder.
Sure. Let's take a look.
Purchase a variety in case of boredom.
Hey, Cleo.
Don't worry. I only test the weapons on customers I don't like. Feel free to browse.
Let's see what you got.
Let's get you outfitted, killer.
Hey.
Entertainment's down the stairs. I toss out the troublemakers. We keep that in mind.
Hey. What, you need something to take the edge off? Fred Allen, Hotel Rexford.
Yeah?
Yeah.
My client appreciates the work you did with his rat problem. Now, if you're buying, let's hear what you want.
Yo. Do you know Imogene Cabot?
Name rings a bell. Kind of balmy. Haven't seen her in a while, though. Try Magnolia. She likes to make friends with people. She might know more about this missing bird. Magnolia! This guy wants a word.
What's the matter, handsome? Don't tell me you didn't like the song.
I just wanted to talk to you.
Well, I thought that's what we were doing. Now, there's something special about you, isn't there? Don't tell me. Let me guess. It's your eyes. Quick and intense. I bet you never miss a detail, You like what you see? So what brings a man like you to my part of town?
Oh, I woke up here. Just me, my underwear, and regret.
That sounds like the beginning of a great song. I think you and I are gonna get along. So it's my turn to answer questions, right? What can I do for you?
Do you know Imogene Cabot?
Imogene? Sure. I know her. I haven't seen her in a while, though. Were you a friend of hers?
She's missing, and her family's worried about her.
Well, I'm glad somebody's looking out for her. She seems like a body that could use looking after.
I just need to know where she is.
There was this preacher fella who used to come in here all the time. One of the slick ones. Always going on about remaking her life and so on. Most of the customers wouldn't give him the time of day, but Imogene, she latched on to him for some reason. I don't suppose it hurt that he was easy on the eyes. Intense. Some women find that irresistible. Ham, would you come over here a minute?
Is there a problem, Miss Magnolia?
No, this fine gentleman here was just looking for Imogene. Do you happen to know where that preacher fella came from?
Brother Thomas?
Yes, that's right. The one Imogene was always hanging on.
Had to throw him out. Wouldn't stop bothering customers with that salvation racket. Kept going on and on about joining him at the back bay. Then he'd shove those stupid flyers in your face. Here, kept one of them, just in case he didn't pay his bar tab.
Well, thanks, honey. You were a big help.
Anything for you, miss.
I hope Imogene's all right. I didn't much like the idea of her going off with that preacher fella.
Ever been to Kill or Be Killed? Some fine-looking weapons.
exit. You must be Imogene.
Don't tell me.
Jack sent you.
Well, actually it was Edward, but close enough.
Edward, who works for Jack. I know Jack was behind this. He's always trying to control me.
It wasn't Jack. It was your mother who wanted you found.
I'm fine, as you can see. I was just waiting to see if Thomas would come to his senses. But since you've already gone to all this trouble, I may as well leave now. I was bored with Thomas anyway. He seemed so interesting at first. But after we got here, he turned out to be just another brute. He actually thought he could force me to join his absurd cult.
I hope you weren't too attached to Thomas.
I was done with him, and he shouldn't have locked me in here. Oh, I'm not going with you. You can tell Mother I'll be along home before too long. I just need a drink first.
Someone there?
Shit, she's down. You're dead. Hear me?
Loot on you better be worth it.
This is maddening. Not now. Edward, switch over to the Hartley... Not now.
Now. How's this?
Oh, that's done it. Edward, what's going on there?
We're under attack. They're inside the building.
Inside? Can you keep them out of the basement?
I'm trying, Jack. I've never seen raiders that... For God's sake, Sammy, the doorway, right there. Sorry. Things are a little busy around here right now.
Listen, if they're inside the building, you have to go to the office and shut down the elevator. You can't risk them getting to Lorenzo.
Got it. Office. Elevator. You better round up whoever you can and get...
Heads up.
Hello? Edward? Come in! Edward! There's no signal at all. I've lost him.
What's happening, Jack? If these people are inside Parsons, if they free him...
Don't worry, I'll handle it.
I always knew it would end this way. I never should have allowed you to lock up Lorenzo in that place.
That isn't helping, Mother. And as I recall, using the serum was your idea, not mine.
So what are you going to do?
I said I'll handle it. I'm thinking.
What's going on?
That was Edward. He's at Parsons, the old asylum. They're under attack by raiders. It's strange. The guards have held off raiders before without any trouble. I don't know what's gone wrong this time.
I found Emma Jean. She's fine.
Oh, yes, good.
Thank God. At least one small comfort on this terrible day.
You'll be wanting to be paid, of course. Edward usually handles these things. Caps is what you use for currency, isn't that right? Here. I hope that's the right amount. Now, we really need to focus on the current emergency.
How can you be so callous about your sister's safety?
I wonder if these could be the same raiders that stole that last shipment. If some of them had used the undiluted serum, it could explain their unusual success against Edward's men.
I'm getting used to not knowing what's going on.
I'm sorry if you feel that I've been keeping you in the dark. The serum that the raiders stole confers a host of benefits. The main one being to halt aging. My family and I are all over 400 years old, but it also confers other side effects, especially in the undiluted form that the raiders stole.
If you're 400 years old, then you were born before the Great War.
Yes, I think you were too. I'd say mid-21st century?
That's right. I was in cryosleep until recently.
Interesting. We'll have to talk more about that later, but time presses. Is there anything else before we get going?
I think it's time you told me what's really going on at Parsons.
You're right. It's past time you knew.
Jack, are you sure it's wise telling him all this?
My father, Lorenzo Cabot, is confined in Parsons. He became dangerously unstable after handling an artifact he found on an archaeological dig in Arabia. He gained various seemingly paranormal powers, as well as becoming increasingly irrational and violent. In the end, I had no choice but to confine him, for his own safety, as well as ours. In the course of my attempts to cure him, I discovered that the artifact had introduced anomalies into his blood. So the source of his insanity is also the basis of the treatments that have prolonged all our lives. The irony isn't lost on me, but if he were to escape from Parsons, I would lose my father forever. I will not allow that to happen. Not to mention that the artifact has made him paranoid, homicidally violent, and endowed with extraordinary abilities.
Exactly what abilities does he have?
Enhanced strength, unusual resistance to most kinds of physical damage. Oh, and a kind of local telekinesis, which appears to be projected by the artifact itself. That's why I've built a dampening field into his cell. Which is why we really need to stop these intruders before they turn it off. Before we go, I need you to understand something. When we get to Parsons, You need to do exactly what I tell you. Nothing more, nothing less. Is that clear?
Got it.
Good. Make sure you have whatever you'll need for a serious battle. I'll wait for you outside.
Jack, be careful. And try not to hurt him.
I love Father at least as much as you do. But you know as well as I do that if he gets free, there will only be one option.
Don't let it come to that, please.
I'll do my best, Mother. And if Imogene finally comes home, for God's sake, don't let her leave again until I get back. Now, I really do have to go. Circumstances can we allow Lorenzo to be freed from Parsons? I would have lost my... Father forever. I refuse to let that happen.
Heads up.
Got a favor to ask you, kid. I know it's silly, but I need a chair. Something with a nicer fit for these old bones. Can you do that for me?
Sure. Glad to help.
Thank you.